we've started with our usual development pipeline diagram because it's important to have a look at where each of these modules that we're offering can fit into this diagram, and mentoring is one of those things that can be an engaging tool and also an advancement tool. So it's something that will drive traffic to your site and something that can then offer benefits back to the school. It's also something that can actually cross over different groups within the community, so it's something parents might be involved in, alumni, and even current students. So that's the different aspects we're going to be taking a look at today. We usually take a look at the Southport School, which is one of the schools that operating in Australia, which has been doing a fantastic job on their mentoring system, but we thought we'd change that up today and have a look at a different client that is also doing a fantastic job. This is one of our girls' schools in London, which is St Paul's Girls' School, and they've been putting a lot of effort into their careers section as well. So you should be able to see shortly the landing page of their site. It's quite graphically intense, so it might take a little while to update on your screen, but let's just wait for that to update. And you should see that they've got their menu system across the top with all their regular functionality. The mentoring facility is available simply by clicking on the mentoring facility. So we'll just first of all have a look at what is available here. So you can see we've got the landing page. The landing page is editable just by clicking this little edit button. So that's just the normal editing function within the Potentiality system. So you can drop in images, descriptions, whatever you need to make available. On the right-hand side is the functionality, so you can see we've got the different industries available to search. People can volunteer to be a mentor. You can place a watch on different industries. If you want to be notified when someone volunteers for construction, for example, you can just add that as a watch. If someone's volunteering, they can just click on the volunteer link, and they then just fill out a bit of a form about themselves. We do have our own template, but you can customize this template to ask whatever questions you like. For example, you can see that this particular form has been updated with some information, so guidelines for all mentors and code of conduct for senior students. So that's just a form that people fill out in order to volunteer themselves as a mentor. So if we go back to the mentoring facility, we can see that once people have volunteered, they then get approved by the administrator and they appear on the list of mentors. So people can come along and choose a specific industry, or just click on show all because we want to see how many mentors they've got, and that then just brings up our list of all mentors. You can see they really do have a fantastic list of mentors from lots of different industries. As we're going down the page, I think the count was that they were approaching almost 200 mentors on this facility. So you can see that there's a lot there. So the idea here is, first of all, we're trying to limit the amount of information that we're displaying. So you can see on each row we've got just a little bit of information about each of them. Then we've got a view more button if we want to provide more information about each of them. If I like the look of that particular mentor, I can then click on the contact button. A couple of the extra administrator tools up in the top are the ability to export all the data of all your existing mentors and add a mentor directly to the facility yourself, so they're obviously for administrators only. If I click on the contact button, so at this point you'll note that we still don't know who the person is. We can change the system so that it shows the name of each person. That's up to each client, but by default it's done anonymously because we want the control to be kept with the mentor. You know, they're the ones offering the service to the school, so if we can keep control with them, they have the choice of how to respond when they're contacted. So when we come to the contact a mentor option, rather than just a free text field, we're filling out a bit of a survey, and you can see we've got all the fields visible here for to fill out if I'm interested in mentoring, and then you can just accept the terms and conditions. This again is customizable. You can see that we have default terms available, but this has been altered for this particular client to match their school's terms and conditions, so that's obviously important as well. One of the other things that has been made available here is you can see we've got the view alternate skin option in the top left-hand corner. So this isn't something that's just running for their alumni. If we switch over, you can see we have the senior option, which is their older current students. And when I switch to the senior option, you can see that it's now reloading the screen, and it looks very similar, but it has very different content. And now we just have home, careers, student code of contact, guidelines for mentors, about us. And obviously we've restricted the interaction, so only current students, when they're logging in, they can't contact alumni, they can't interact with alumni, they don't appear in searches that alumni are doing. You know, we're keeping them completely separate from the alumni group. And when they click on careers, they have access to the very same facility. So we can now have the current students coming along and controlling very carefully what they do, what they can see, but they still have access to the mentoring facility. So by this mechanism, we're bringing together these different areas of the community, and the current students can come along and take benefit from the engagement of the alumni. We have a couple of extra levels of protection here for current students. So again, when they're contacting a mentor and they click on contact, they don't know who this mentor is, but when they come through to this form, we can control what happens to this form. So it's basically drawing a line in the sand and saying, well, up until this point, the current student doesn't know who the mentor is, and there's been no interaction between the two. And when they fill out this form, we can draw that line and say, well, let's stop and think and decide what we're going to do next. And if you want to be ultra cautious, you could redirect this form through to the careers guidance counsellor or the administrator of the site, and just prevent this going automatically to the mentor. The careers guidance counsellor might then want to call the mentor and have a chat, or do whatever they want. One of our clients actually CCs the parents. So when the child fills out this form, the parents get CC'd, and so the parents know exactly what the child's doing. We've designed the system with this flexibility in mind, because obviously we understand that this is a very touchy subject. It's a reality that when you're dealing with mentoring, that at some point underage students will have to deal with older age mentors. That's just the nature of the system, but we're just trying to make sure you have control of the whole process. What some clients are starting to do now is to actually get parents involved with this as well, and this is a very interesting aspect of this system, because again, if you can have parents coming to the site for some particular reason, then you might find that they're going to volunteer to be a mentor as well. And one of the methods that some of the sites that we're currently setting up for clients is to use the event management system as a way of driving parents to the site. So this is just the St Cath's Girls School event page, and you can see they've got merchandise and enrolments, but some of the sites we're creating at the moment on this event landing page will have mentoring as well. So you're driving the parents to the site in order to to register for their event. So it's a necessity that they go to the site, and then it's an easy process for them to volunteer to be mentors. So using these kind of mechanisms, we can get all aspects of the community coming together, the current students getting the benefit from the parents and the alumni, the younger alumni getting the benefits from the parents and alumni, and services being offered from the parents and the alumni to everyone. So it's a really good example of something that can bring the whole community together. So that's the mentoring system. Everything I've shown you in this system is just part of the core product, so it's something that you can have available for you immediately. The current student view is an additional cost, so that's just setting up a view specifically for current students. The events view is something we'll set up at no cost, so there's minimal costs or no costs involved in setting this up. If you have any other questions, please feel free to type them into the chat window, or if you have any questions after we finish the webinar, please feel free to reply my email and ask them over email. We've got other examples if you'd like to look at other examples of clients who are using this system really well. Otherwise, I think that that's pretty much all we need to go through today. So I can't see any questions coming through, so we'll wrap things up there. So thanks very much for your time, everyone, and we'll hopefully see you at the next webinar.